What's up, y'all? I'm out at the range on a nice sunny day having some fun doing a lot of interesting testing out here, and since it's starting to get a little chilly, we're gonna bundle up this jelly a little bit. Now, as usual, we got the jelly contraption out here with my chrono and 2 freshly melted blocks of gel. So as you can see, they're completely clear, and what we're doing here is one that a lot of people's been asking for since I started doing this testing, and it's a heavy clothing test. Now, to be more specific, for this one we're looking at some 38 special rounds. This is a test I actually did way back when I first started doing these gel tests with the old block of gel I had, that strange medical block, but it's the same exact ammo and the same exact tool. I had somebody ask me in the comments of that video if I would do this with some clothing, so I figured we might as well start with this one for the clothing test. So what we got specifically is the Winchester Silvertip 38 Special. These are 110 grain jacketed hollow points, so good old silver tips. And then our other round is the Federal Punch 38 Special plus P. Now these are 120 grain and plus P, so should be a better performance out of these punch than the silver tips. Now, like I said, this is going to be my version of the heavy clothing test. This is what y'all gonna get, take it or leave it. Now, a lot of people's always talking about 4 layers of denim, 4 layers of denim. I'm not doing 4 layers of denim. That's not the FBI protocol. That is some other testing body's protocol, but that's not what we're doing here. What I've got is 2 layers of cotton t-shirt material, and it also calls for a layer of denim, which I have here, layer of denim, and then it calls for a layer of Polar Tech fleece. So I got some fleece here, which is pretty close to what they're calling for. So this is the standard I'm going to be using for my heavy clothing test. Those of y'all out there who are huge Jay Leno fans wanting all that denim, I'm sorry to disappoint you, but all you're getting is 1 layer of denim. Now, the tool we're going to be running this thing out of is the exact same one I did in the first video, the Rock Island Armory Model 206 38 Special with a 2-inch barrel. So hopefully this will be a pretty interesting test. Let me get everything set up and let's get started. All right, y'all, let's see if we can get us some speeds out of these things. I'm gonna do a 3-round average on each one, starting with these Winchester Silvertips first, the 110 grainers. Let's see what they'll do out of this little 2-inch snubby. I got a feeling maybe around 800 or something. 884, 870, and 901, so not too terrible out of a little 2-inch. Let's check that average out. All right, so the 3-round average on our silver tips is 885 feet per second. Let's reset this thing and check out those punch. All right, here we go. 3 rounds of the 120 grain punch plus P. These should be moving faster, hopefully. Got 899, 920, and 890, so definitely moving a little bit faster. Let's check the average on those. All right, so our 3-round average on those plus P punch was 903 feet per second, and if y'all remember on the silver tips, it was 885, so you're talking about only 18 feet per second faster from those plus P punch. But now keep in mind, those punch are also 120 versus the 110 out of the silver tips, so I'm very interested to see what's gonna happen in the gel, so let me get this set up. Y'all know what time it is. All right, y'all, it's bundled up bad guy jelly time. We're gonna put 1 round of each into the gel down there, starting with this Winchester Silvertip first. Let's see what happens when the bad guy's bundled up. All right, look like a good clean hit. Let me go down there and make sure it's all good. All right, so far so good with the silver tip. Let's check out this plus P punch, see what it can do. I'm gonna try to put this one up under that silver tip. I definitely went up under it. I hope I didn't go too low. Let me make sure we're good. All right, y'all, that punch didn't fare too well on that one. Not only did it not expand, it went down and hit the bottom down there. So I'm gonna take another shot on that one just to make sure it didn't get affected being close to the bottom. Let me see if I can move it up a little bit with this Federal punch. All right, that should be a good hit right there. Let's go down there and check these things out. All right, y'all, let's take a look at what we got down here. Very interesting stuff here. So on the top there, that's the Winchester Silvertip. Come in through the layers of clothing. Nice wound channel there. Looks like it expanded pretty nicely. It's hard to tell because of that bubble, and got pretty decent penetration. Looks like 15 inches or so of penetration. Now the punch, on the other hand, a whole different story. The one on the bottom, that was the first one I took. Went in, and you can see not very much disruption at all. Carries into the second block. It kind of bounces down here on the bottom. Didn't really bounce, but it came to rest down here at the bottom. Now the second punch I took just because I wanted to make sure that bottom didn't interfere any, but as you can see, basically the same story. Very little disruption throughout the wound track, and it carries way down here into the second block, and I'll show y'all here in a second, but 3/4 of the way through the second block, and looks like little to no expansion on it. But as far as the penetration, on the Silvertip, we've got 15¼ inches of penetration. On the first punch, it's resting down here at the bottom at 30½ inches. And then the second punch is at 28 inches, and neither one of them have expanded at all. Here's a view from above. Obviously, the middle one is the Silvertip. The other two are the punch. So as you can see, the Silvertip rested there. The punch, both of them kept on trucking. There you can see that first one laying there towards the bottom, and there's the second one. As you can see, it looks like it might have had a little bit of deformation, but no kind of expansion out of those. All right, y'all, let's take a look at these projectiles. So right here is the Winchester Silvertip. As you can see, it did start to expand, not fully though. So it definitely had some kind of interference from that cloth, but it did get enough expansion, as you saw there, to make some pretty nice wound disruption and get some really good penetration and stop soon enough. Now these punch, on the other hand, as you can see, completely clogged with the cloth, and they both got about the same amount of deformation. So I'm just gonna use one of them for the measurements, but you can see completely clogged. I don't know how tightly packed this stuff is. So it wasn't really tightly packed. As you can see, I could pull it right out. But that definitely kept these punch from expanding. So let's get some measurements on them and see what we got there. As far as the weight, they shouldn't have lost anything. This punch might have gained a grain here. It's sitting at 120 exactly. So it started at 120 and it's still 120. The Silvertip started at 110. It's at 109.8. So no kind of material loss on either one of them. Now, as far as expansion size, the punch had basically nothing. The cavity end is probably going to be smaller than the starting diameter, I would guess. So yeah, you got 3.1, 304 and 303, so definitely no kind of expansion to speak of there. As you can see, the base itself is 355. Now the Silvertip here, very uneven expansion, but it did get some expansion. We got 456, 438 and 458, so actually decent expansion on that, even though it didn't fully expand on that one side. But there you have it, y'all, the heavy clothing test between the 38 Special Silvertip and Plus P punch. I think there's a clear better performer right here in my mind, and that's this Silvertip. Now, would it do this every time? I don't know. Would the punch do this every time? I don't know, but you just can't sit here and run round after round. All I can tell you is if this would have been the round counted, that's what you would have got with the Silvertip, and this is what you would have got with the punch. All right, y'all, we're calling it right there for this 38 Special test. This was definitely some pretty interesting stuff, and it did not end how I thought it was going to end. If I'm being honest, I would have called this the opposite direction. I would have said that those punch were going to perform very nicely and the Silvertip might fall short, but we saw just the opposite. This 38 Special Federal punch definitely did not like those layers of cloth from this 2-inch barrel. But y'all let me know what y'all think about these results. Do y'all use one of these rounds in your 38 Special? Have you seen similar results? Are you changing your mind? If you do use one of these rounds, let me know what your thoughts are down in the comments. If you did enjoy this video, take a second if you would and hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, and make sure you click that bell notification icon so you can get notified when I upload new stuff. It's definitely getting to be the shopping time of year, so y'all check out my affiliate links down in the video description. If you're shopping through Amazon anyway, hit that link up first. You go straight through Amazon like normal from there, and anything you buy after that, I get a kickback from them towards the channel. Same goes for those Axle links. If you're in the market for some fantastic ear pro, hit those links up down there and you can save a pile of money instead of going straight through their site. As always, I appreciate all my Range Gang members and every single one of y'all out there for supporting the channel. I got a ton of good stuff coming your way, so make sure you stay on the lookout for that. And in the meantime, stay safe, stay prepared, and I'll see you soon.